With every star, we are born again.
Our next speaker is a healthcare provider who specializes in physical therapy. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Laura Dorsey. Laura graduated with 2 degrees in nutrition and exercise science. She earned a master's in physical therapy and worked as a physical therapist for 13 and a half years. Laura signed up for the product and business in 2014, becoming an NMD in 1 year in 2015. She's been nominated for 4 Elton Awards, 12 Club Rookie of the Year in 2015, and Elite Leadership Member of the Year in 2020 and 2022. So for those of you who don't understand what we do, Laura has helped a lot of people. That's what that means. She was able to retire as a physical therapist in 2015 to pursue her passion for teaching people how to transform their lives and their health through the power of whole food nutrition. Please help me welcome Laura Dorsey.
To be here. I was introduced to Juice Plus 8.5 years ago by my dear friend Shelly Mackey after I had promptly ignored her for 5 years. I always tell people that those 3 degrees made me in the I'm Too Cool club, right? I was too cool to learn about fruits and vegetables in a capsule. But once I did, I got really excited. And the reason why my friend Shelly Mackey was telling me about Juice Plus is because my youngest son, Pete, was sick from the time he was about 3 months old. He was born constipated, he had severe asthma, he had RSV twice, he had severe reflux, and he was sick literally all the time. It was like every 4 weeks, we'd be battling something different. And he was constantly on the asthma action plan and constantly on antibiotics. And so when we started our Juice Plus journey, then we got started on the trio of capsules and the complete, and every single day, we did not miss a day. And after about 6 months, we got Pete off all of his medications. And so I am a self-proclaimed nutrition nerd, and I love to teach people about complicated subjects and help them understand it in a way that makes sense to them. So let's talk a little bit about the microbiome. Miss Tamara Sachs introduced you to it, and I'm going to talk about it in my presentation. So the microbiome, you guys, in 2007, the Human Microbiome Project began. And what has been found since then is not only astonishing, but is a huge source for hope for all of us. Instead of being locked into our genetic code that was handed down to us by our parents, we are able to influence our microbiome through our environment, our behaviors, right? And especially by the food that we eat. What is the microbiome? Well, any one of us can have up to 200 trillion microbes that live in and on us. Most of these microbes reside in our colon, and most of them are bacteria. There are over 1,400 different species of bacteria that live in and on us. Researchers have estimated that there's about 150 different bacteria that live on the human hand. We need to stop being afraid of bacteria, you guys. They are so important. Stop using Purell, okay? I'm gonna tell you that today. It is harming your health. We need to live in love with these bacteria. And so they're so important for our health. So within these, hold on a second. Let me go back. Sorry, I'm screwing up. So the human microbiome is the command center for human health. It influences our immune system, which is so important, you guys, because most people think of the immune system as whether or not we get sick in the wintertime, right? But you guys, you need your immune system every single day, because it is controlling whether or not you have systemic inflammation in your body. And systemic inflammation is the root cause of all disease. Your microbiome is influencing your metabolism by deciding how much calories you take in from your food. It's deciding your hormonal balance, your cognition. It's determining the genetic expression of not only those genes that were handed down to you by your parents, but also the genetic expression of the bacteria themselves. So certain foods are called prebiotic. What that means is that these prebiotic foods make it down into the colon, and then those probiotic bacteria digest them. Then from that digestion, these postbiotics are formed. Dr. Sachs referred to one of them called butyrate. These postbiotics are being shown to have many different health benefits. So one of the most important prebiotics is fiber. I tell people all the time, you guys, I'm putting fiber on my tombstone because the doctor that used to treat Pete's asthma told me that he wanted to put Advair on his tombstone. And so I'm saying that that fiber helped me cure my son, and I want to put fiber on my tombstone. So fiber is a non-digestible carbohydrate. We don't digest it, you guys. The human cells do not make enzymes to digest fiber. So when it makes it down into the colon, those postbiotic bacteria gobble them up. And then these metabolites, these byproducts are formed. These are the postbiotics. Fiber was once called an anti-nutrient or a junk nutrient and was actually removed from food. But now we know that it is so important. Fiber has other roles. Like, for example, our liver will filter out LDL cholesterol and excess hormones from our blood, send them off to the colon. They will bind to the fiber, and then the fiber hands them off to the toilet. If we don't have adequate amount of fiber in our colon, those excesses get reabsorbed right back in the bloodstream. So we need fiber, you guys. And remember, fiber is a carbohydrate. So if you are eating a diet that is telling you to avoid carbohydrates and you're adding in too much protein and fats, you are starving your microbiome. And guess what will happen? Those good bacteria, they need to eat. So they will go and eat away at the lining of your colon. That is not good. Another prebiotic are polyphenols. I did not understand this, you guys, until a couple years ago, and I got so excited. Polyphenols are a class of compounds that are within plants. There's about 8,000 different polyphenols. They range in different plants, from berries to greens to beans, and even dark chocolate, you guys. Yeah, baby, right? So polyphenols are known to have many different health benefits. But what I thought was so interesting about polyphenols is that only about 5% of the polyphenols we eat in our diet are actually absorbed in the upper digestive tract. The rest of them make it down into the colon and are either absorbed into the colon or they become prebiotic food for that bacteria in our gut, and then these postbiotics are formed. So they're really, really important for our health. And when we consume a diet that is rich in polyphenols and fiber, many different health benefits happen in our body. Here are a few examples. Our brains, you guys. You guys want to protect your brains? Yes. Oh my gosh. I used to do home health physical therapy, and half of my patients could not remember my name. I want to protect my brain. So when you consume a diet full of fiber and polyphenols, you improve that blood-brain barrier, and you decrease the amount of heavy metals and toxins and bad bacteria that get into your brain. It also improves your learning and your cognition. It helps decrease oxidative stress, which Jackie is going to be talking about, which is basically how our cells age. And it helps decrease the inflammation within your brain. It helps improve your liver function, which is really important, right? Because the liver filters out all of those yuckies that are within our blood. It helps improve your gut health by improving those tight junction proteins, the ones that help protect our gut from being leaky. This is really important, you guys, for conditions such as autoimmune disease and things like food allergies. Why are kids so allergic to food nowadays? When we consume this diet full of polyphenols and fiber, then we produce these postbiotics, these short-chain fatty acids, acetate, propionate, butyrate. And researchers are finding that the most important one is butyrate. So when we consume this diet, we increase the amount of butyrate-producing bacteria within our gut. And it also improves the diversity of the bacteria, because the diversity is just as important as the amount. You guys, we have the most amazing laboratory in our colons, okay? They cannot reproduce it in a laboratory. The pharmaceutical companies cannot do it. We can do it on our own by what we eat. So when we consume fiber and polyphenols, we produce other antioxidants like vitamin K and B vitamins. We produce cancer-fighting chemicals and anti-inflammatories. So let's talk a little bit about short-chain fatty acids, right? This butyrate, these postbiotics that are formed. What do? Well, first of all, they improve the acidity within the colon, and this helps decrease the formation of those inflammatory bacteria that are going to cause inflammation in your gut. They help give energy to the colon cells themselves, which makes them healthy. They help repair that leaky gut. They increase colonic activity, which is important for like my son Pete that was constipated all the time, right? This helps move things through your colon. It helps decrease visceral hypersensitivity, which would be the other end of the spectrum when people have severe diarrhea. This helps modulate your immune system, which is really important because we want a balanced immune system. People need to stop chasing their immune systems, you guys, right? We want a healthy and strong immune system. So not only will it ward off foreign invaders, but our immune system needs to stop attacking our human cells. We need to decrease systemic inflammation. These short-chain fatty acids do this. They help decrease the immune cell's reaction to the gut bacteria themselves. So we have decreased inflammation in the gut. They help decrease cancer formation by decreasing inflammation, improving our immune system, and increasing something called cellular apoptosis. When cells are damaged, they need to commit suicide, okay? So they have to commit suicide, otherwise they're gonna gather up, clump together, and guess what they form? Tumors, okay? They help improve our glucose tolerance. They decrease our cholesterol. They help decrease fat accumulation. Sign me up for that one. Who wants to have less fat accumulation? They help increase our satiety hormones, which is those hormones that go to our brain and say, yo, you're full, right? They help improve protection against congestive heart failure and hypertension. They decrease atherosclerosis, which is the plaque buildup in our arteries, and they help improve that blood-brain barrier. So, who's excited about butyrate? Can I get a hand in the chat? Give me a hand in the chat if you're so excited about butyrate. I am a little bit of a nerd, like I said, and so when I started learning about butyrate, I actually reached out to Dr. Manfred via email, and he assured me that we were on it. So Dr. Sachs mentioned this study, and what happened was they took one group that consumed the trio for 16 weeks, and then they took, and another group consumed a placebo. Then for 4 additional weeks, the trio group consumed the complete every single day. And what happened? Well, increased levels of butyrate, woo, and glucose clearance in the blood. I have to admit, when this study first came out, I didn't understand it because I didn't understand polyphenols. That's a polyphenol story, you guys. Polyphenols were feeding those good bacteria in the gut because the trio of capsules is not a good source of fiber, right? But when they added in the fiber and more polyphenols of the complete, then they showed increased levels of butyrate-producing bacteria in the gut. So let's talk a little bit about polyphenols. So polyphenols, like I said, are not only prebiotic in that they feed the good bacteria in your gut, but they're also postbiotic in that when we feed the gut these bacteria, then they produce these postbiotic polyphenols. So this slide is a little bit nerdy, right? You're probably like, what in the world do those words mean, Laura Dorsey? Well, basically, on that first line on the left-hand side, what that means is that polyphenols inhibit the genetic expression of the bad bacteria in the gut. They're less likely to be expressed by eating polyphenols. They also make them more sensitive to being destroyed. Dietary polyphenols help improve the diversity within your gut. They have an impact on your metabolism, on your immune system. They decrease your inflammation. They improve obesity and diabetes. They decrease your blood pressure, your lipid profile, and they make you less likely to form colonic tumors. So of course, we have this wonderful company, and they have a study out there about polyphenols because they are way ahead of their time, you guys. They are healthcare pioneers. So within this study, they took 20 healthy subjects, and they had them for 2 weeks. They avoided all supplements, dietetic products, drugs, medications. Then for 48 hours before the test, they had them consume a polyphenol-poor diet. They did this to make sure that the polyphenols in the blood were from Juice Plus. They fasted overnight, and then they brought them in, took a baseline blood test. Then they ate 1 berry, 1 fruit, 1 vegetable capsule. They again took the blood at 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, and 10 hours. What did they find? Well, some polyphenols were in the blood in 1 to 2 hours. Those were those polyphenols that were absorbed in the upper digestive tract. Then they found other polyphenols that were in the blood at 5 to 10 hours. Some of those were absorbed into the bloodstream, and then other ones became prebiotics because some of those polyphenols found in the bloodstream are not in Juice Plus, you guys. So see, this is evidence that the trio of capsules has a positive effect on the human microbiome. So who's excited, you guys? Oh my gosh. If you are a prospect out there and you are not on Juice Plus yet, what are you waiting for? Start feeding your bacteria every single day. It's so simple, you guys. I can wake up, walk to my counter, take those 8 capsules every single day and drink that shake. I say 1 shake a day is a difference maker and 2 shakes a day is a game changer, you guys, okay? So get started today. So with that, I just want you guys to know that we need to learn to live and love these bacteria that live in and on us, okay? Start feeding them every single day so that they can be healthy and then that we can be more likely to live long and healthy lives. Thank you.
With every star.